Hello and welcome to my presentation. My name is Cristobal Torres, and I'm here to talk about Los Angeles' public library's central library's teen space called TeenScape. So here's a general overview map of the teen space. Here's the main teen space here, TeenScape. In the middle here, there's a section for computers. To the left, there's this is a map overview of the TeenScape area. There are two entrances here. One first to the rotunda. This is the big main area coming from the entrance of the library. And to the left is an entrance coming from the stairwell. And I will highlight all these sections right now. But first, I wanted to show kind of the main library entrance here. If you've ever been to Los Angeles's Central Library, you'll know it's a very historic cultural building. It was built in the 1920s. It's very, it's very beautiful. Like this intricate pattern on the ceiling is one of many like art installations. Uh, I will now highlight here. This is the rotunda. This is the big main entrance right before the teen entrance. See, there's this very beautiful decorative ceiling with this nice chandelier, nice metalwork and mural. Just so this is like a nice kind of precursor to the Teenscape, and here's the entrance right here. You'll notice right here the 90s aesthetic design of the sign and the nice colorful colors inviting the teen in. Here is where you enter from the rotunda, and this is the fiction section on the left here. Up top of these shelves, you have the YA literature, recommendations. There's decorative, like naturey kind of decorations. These shelves actually house the college and career material, which when I talked with the teen services libraries, it told me they weren't very popular. So if they want to kind of highlight that, I believe they should market either the materials or if they believe they're not that popular, they should have some form of video, audio, like digital kind of way to learn more about careers and market that service here to teens. Here in the teen space, they have these posters marked talking about Black History Month, and that shows the teen space's kind of focus on highlighting important Black icons during this important time, especially in the current political climate with diversity and inclusion being attacked. It's good for the library to show that they're willing to talk about the topic and they're willing to host these ideas here, especially since Los Angeles is so big, so multicultural. It's important to have that. Here in the photo on the right side, this is the light novel area of the fiction, and here they have these soft chairs here. Um, Not pictured was a older child and their guardian, so that's an issue I did see throughout the teen space where they did allow older children and parents. So while that is being inclusive, and while the teen light service library did say if they feel old enough to be there, they can be there, that sentiment kind of alienates their teen audience, the people that they're kind of supposed to be focusing on serving, and it makes the space feel more, childish to them. So they might not want to be there. They might want to, go to the general areas of the library instead. Here's more of the fiction area on the left. There's like they had two of these desks areas for studying for individual, as an individual or in a group. I wanted to highlight these chairs. They don't seem to be the most comfy option, available. If you're studying, you might not want to stay too long in these chairs, so I would recommend them having some kind of like ergonomic options, kind of like cushion, anything to help ease the pain. Like if you're studying, doing homework, you might be sitting there for a long time. To the right, there's this natural skylight, and I wanted to highlight the lighting all throughout the teen space. It's these fluorescent tube lighting. However, it's being diffused by this plastic, and it's bouncing off the pastel paint throughout the teen space, so it makes it feel more warm than an office space, more warm than where these like the classroom lighting they would usually be used to. Here, this is chalk drawings were all throughout this fiction area here, and for Black History Month, they did important historical figures. Um, I saw on the TeenScape's specific Instagram, they have an Instagram as a way to market to the teens on social media, which is a good idea. However, the person making these chalk drawings was a staff member, so it's being used as decor, but the teens have no involvement in it. Here's the second entrance of the Teenscape, and as you can see, it's kind of inviting the teens as the other entrance with the sign. Um, Here they have again posters and important figures of Black history in the U.S. They also have a LGBTQ symbol here, adding more and letting the teens know this is more of an inclusive, anybody is accepted here space, which is important. Um, this wall also acts as a partition, so it gives teens their privacy. And if you really want to explore the space, you have to go in there. You can't just peek in. This is the cyber zone area that I mentioned earlier. This is the original furniture from the 90s, so I would recommend, again, some kind of update, some kind of cushion or cleaning. But what's good about these benches is, as you can see, there can be multiple teens huddling around one screen. So it's playing more into the, building the community, uh, accommodating teens that like to be more squished, giving more freedom because you can be in a group or you can use this space alone. Here they have announcements boards uh, highlighting events coming up in the library. So up here on the top left, there's a digital photography class for the teens, which is nice. It's playing into the interests and technological uses of teens. Um, they also have here in the middle this event called TeenScape Playlist, where the teens come together, they share their favorite songs, and they create a playlist together, which I think is a nice, simple way to have teens, find common interests, kind of feel like they're contributing to something together, which is a nice feeling and should be highlighted by any teen area. To the left, this is the second one. This is the Teens Trust Teens, which is providing resources for teens experiencing homelessness, resources for people that were affected by the wildfire, um, a mental health toolkit, which they have both in English and Spanish. And to the right, here is the colleges and career portion. Um, there's this flyer I wanted to highlight in the middle, which is called Philoxenia, which is all about the creation of zines for creative teens. It's an organization that is also for teens, so it's good that the teen librarian or the library decided to highlight this other organization specifically for teens and specifically for teen creatives. There's other flyers There's here highlighting ways they can make money, summer jobs, ways they can uh, help with the upcoming cost of their college career. This is a decor choice I wanted to highlight because, um, again, this feels more catered to older children than to teens. In the readings, there's a thing called participatory culture, and in it, it states that participatory culture should have a general low barrier to entrance for contributing uh, to the space in an artistic means. So this plays into that concept by allowing anybody to just color a page. They can even customize it. However, again, this invokes more of a older child or childlike aspect to the teen space. And here I wanted to show to the left again. If you look up in the ceiling, you can see the historic buildings. You know, the the aesthetic of this historic building and the kind of clashes with the 90s aesthetic of the teen space, but it's kind of interesting and it's cool and it highlights, you know, this is a significant change in time. And to the right here, this is an event that was advertised when I visited called the Teens Watch Anime. So this is the living room area. I couldn't get a good picture of it because there were teens uh, using it, and I asked the services librarian, and they said to not, it's kind of intruding on the privacy of teens. So that's another way that they're, um, representing teens as they're being advocating for teens' privacy, which I agreed with, and I was able to get this picture. Here, there's a plush semicircle of bean bags and soft furniture. The teen services librarian let me know that they recently received a grant and they asked the Teen Advisory Council, which is a group of volunteer teens and asked them what they wanted to use the money for. And they all decided to get new furniture, as they said the old one was, not comfortable and old, and it was just a sofa. So that shows that the teens do have a say in how the space is, updated, what what they say is important. Something that also plays into that aspect is this uh, comment board. It's filled with sticky notes where teens can leave, you know, their thoughts, any ideas, any recommendations. Here, this one in the middle tells them not to change the vibe. I love the 90s aesthetic. And what's interesting is that other teens can add to that by saying, I agree. In this bottom one, they say, yes, me too, me three, me four. So it's a fun little way for teens to communicate with each other. That's more, that's not face to face. That's easy. Somebody can just pencil in, oh, yes, I agree with this. To the left, I wanted to highlight this artwork that somebody started. Um, you can see that they just did the face and the body, and they let the other people decide how they would finish it. So this is just a fun little way to build community, to build like inside little jokes. Other post-it notes, display their little artwork as well. And then to the right, um, there's these post-it notes from the librarian answering questions. Like this person asked for snacks, and somebody else might have said, "Charging. I need a charger." So here the librarian uh, converses back, acknowledges the comment, and says, "We offer snacks at programs, and if you need a charger, just ask." Another person down here said they would like more rainbow decorations for Pride, and the librarian actually agreed and said they would work on it, and they have a variety of fiction related to the topic. So this is just more showing the librarian actually wanting to hear from the teens. The only thing I wanted to point out was some of these post-it notes were dated and they were from 2021, 2022, 2023. So it's not certain how well or how currently the teens are using this. So I would recommend marketing this more, having some other form of comment. Maybe they don't want to get rid of the artwork, so maybe culling some of the other post-it notes or having some form of digital comment board. They have here they have important topics that the teens might not be getting exposed to at home or in school, such as also here the banned books also are getting challenged, like they acknowledge in public libraries and in schools. And it's important because the ones that are usually being targeted are those dealing with LGBTQ issues or diversity and inclusion. So it's very important for the space to highlight that they are not participating in that and they're actually advertising the books that are being challenged. So that way, teens dealing with these issues can connect with that. There's this other display for young activists that again highlights political, multicultural issues with recommended readings. And what they also did is highlight youth activists. So this is a way for teens that are interested in the topic but feel they're not properly equipped to talk on it. This gives them kind of a point of reference. So they see other teens talking about and getting involved in the community so they can go look them up and see how they're doing it and how they can emulate or do similar activities. They also show LA City's city council districts. So if they live in a certain area, they can see, oh, I live in this area, and they can that pushes them to further get involved in their community. So overall, I think the Central Library TeenScape is a beautiful, historic space. I think it is one of the few and largest teen dedicated spaces in the area. But that doesn't mean that it's not without its faults. It could easily add more um, technology to the computer zone because that's just computer monitors for browsing, for doing homework. They could add more, like maybe a 3D printer, maybe some kind of sewing machine or a digital art tablet that the teens can use. I feel like they are catering more to older children by allowing them to be in the space, which is nice for the older children who like to believe that they're teens, but this kind of makes the space for the teens seem more childish. So yeah, that if you ever get the chance, I would recommend checking it out. And thank you very much for your attention.